Is this thing on? Oh, it is. Hi, I'm the Rally Ranger, and welcome to Bear Trax, where it's all about me. Woo!
Rally Ranger, come on, I know you're a huge part of the show, but we have a lot of different things to get to today.
Like me.
Like you, but we have a few other things to get to. Like AJ Styles joins the ballpark, we have a one-on-one with Charcer Burks, and plenty of other things around the ballpark. But you do make a visit today.
Woo! All right, I'll see y'all later.
Bear Trax starts right now.
Welcome to Smokies Stadium, where the Chicago Cubs stars of tomorrow are born. This stadium, past heroes, are baseball's present champions. In this house, when your name is called, you step up.
Schwarber with an RBI hit. He looks up, so long. Chris Bryant, just like Javier Baez a year ago. A home run in his first Double-A at bat. Swing, fly ball, deep left field. This one's got a chance if it's fair. Way back there, so long. Ball game over. Smokies win. What do you say?
This house is witness to historic performances.
Jokic no hits the Suns tonight.
In the outfield.
Oh my, what a grab.
And on the base pass. In this stadium, we play until the final out.
Swing, there's a line drive, base hit, and the Smokies score 8 times, and they stun the Braves. They were down 7-0 going into the bottom of the ninth.
This is America's friendliest ballpark. For the next 30 minutes, we're giving you the best seat in the house. Bear Trax starts right now as we bring you inside Tennessee Smokies Baseball.
Smokies Stadium these next 2 weeks is actually home to a first-half pennant race with every Southern League North team in the mix but the Birmingham Barons. But it's not just the baseball on the field that this ballpark has to offer. A few weeks back, America's friendliest ballpark hosted some happy campers for our annual Boy Scout campout on the field. Kids helped pitch their tents, tossed a little baseball, and watched Finding Dory on the scoreboard. The campout is one of the many events that allows the Smokies to give back to the community.
Come back to Smokies Stadium on June 17th for Jimmy Buffett Tribute Night. Special jerseys will be worn, a post-game fireworks and concert, and $2 Coronas throughout the night. It's a night you truly do not want to miss. So come back to Jimmy Buffett Tribute Night on June 17th.
As the Smokies broadcaster, one of the best parts of my job is that I get to travel with the team. And when you do that, you get to see some awesome stadiums. Today we're at Riverwalk Stadium here in Montgomery, right in the capital city of Alabama. This is my favorite stadium outside of Smokies Park. Why I like this place? There are so many different reasons. It's built on an historical site. This is the spot where the Confederates had a prison back during the Civil War. Then later on it became a train station, a whistle stop. You've got trains that go by throughout the game. Has a real historical significance in downtown Montgomery. I like the entire setup of this place, from the chairs to the whistle stop bar. The outfield has a lot of very cool spots, and even the street out front is exciting. You've got old-time architecture, as you can see, with the shape of the walkways and the corridors that go down the club car bar. Also great sight lines if you're watching the teams play. Even the outfield wall is different. It's got nooks and crannies, it's got corners straight down the right field line. One of the most unique outfield walls in the entire league. An amphitheater's nearby, and it's also built in an entertainment district. This may be my favorite ballpark outside of the friendly confines of Smokies Stadium, but we've got some other good ones in the Southern League, so stay tuned to Bear Trax, and we'll show you them in the near future.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first annual Tennessee Smokies Hot Dog Eating Contest, brought to you by Elm Hill Hot Dogs and presented by Toyota Knoxville. Charlie Walter off to a quick start. That's his second dog. 2 dogs for Charlie Walter. Into the wire again, 3 dogs for Charlie Walter. 5 dogs for Rally Ranger, 6 dogs for Rally Ranger, 7 dogs for Rally Ranger, 10 dogs for Rally Ranger. Look, is the 10-time Hot Dog Eating Contest champion, and he's look, he goes after the big hot dog. Join us every Monday night at Smokies Stadium for Dollar Hot Dog Night, presented by Toyota Knoxville.
The best kept secret in North Knoxville.
Legacy Point Apartments, located just off Shad Road on Pleasant Ridge. 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartments. They are pet-friendly with access to a 24-hour state-of-the-art fitness center and saltwater pool with iconic mushroom fountain. Find out for yourself. Stop by and meet their friendly staff or visit them online at legacypointapartments.com.
Here's a free lesson on how to grocery shop. Step 1, go to the store. Step 2, put as many Robinson's fruit shoots, variety of flavors, in your cart as you possibly can. That's a free lesson on how to grocery shop. Now for a free lesson on how to play baseball. Here's Mick Gillispie in our Play Like a Pro segment.
With Jacob Cruz, Smokies hitting coach, I'm Mick Gillispie, and it's time for our Play Like a Pro segment. 9 years in the major leagues, you work with the Smokies hitters now. Hitting, the philosophy seems to change over the years, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing that leads to success. We talk about swing path a lot now.
Right. And really, it's one of those things nowadays that social media has taken over. There's a lot of terminology out there. There's a lot of hitting philosophies. One of those is what we're trying to tackle right now. Yeah. And what we're going to talk about a little bit today is that swing path and how I want to get there. I ultimately don't want to create length in my swing. There people talk about how to get on path with the pitch, but if I create length back here to get on path, I basically got a little long, and then anytime I face plus velo or somebody throwing really hard, it's going to be hard to get that barrel there. Nothing has changed as far as I still want to be short to contact, long through the zone. So it might work at a certain level, high school level, JV, or club ball, but as you get into the pros, the longer or the more I create length to get to there, there's no way I'm going to be able to catch to a plus fastball.
So how do you do that? Show us.
Well, what's being taught right now, and I think that it's something that needs to be a little bit clarified, is to get to the zone, I definitely don't want to lose my barrel back here just to get on this plane that's moving up. I still want to work with a little bit of direction towards the pitcher. My bat barrel is naturally going to fall underneath my hands, and ultimately I'm trying to keep this barrel close and tight to my back shoulder where this falls in, stays inside the ball, behind the ball, and through the ball.
Well, you bring up a great point. Kris Bryant's an awesome example of that.
Right, and you're talking about somebody who has incredible hand-eye coordination, strong, he's 6'3", he's got leverage. So not everybody falls into that category. Kris Bryant especially in the sense that he can do some things that most of us couldn't do, that I couldn't do. So you can't always compare yourself to the Kris Bryants. I've had situations where people say, hey, I wish my son hit like Goldschmidt. Well, shoot, I wanted to hit like Goldschmidt, but it's not always the best case. Sometimes we just need to fundamentally get a sound swing, and as we grow as a ball player, our swings will evolve.
All right, thanks. Jacob Cruz, I'm Mick Gillispie. Play like a pro, always part of Bear Trax.
And now, a special announcement from the Rally Ranger of the Tennessee Smokies.
Being a groundskeeper is not for the faint of heart. It takes a lot of work, like doing push-ups. Hi, I'm the Rally Ranger, and the grounds crew somehow let me drag their diamond, so I'm just going to go do that. Hello, I'm late, because we are dragging on the infield, looking at the... Woo! Are we doing third base? That was exhausting. Turn! Wide! Go! Go! We're going! I'm trying my best! Ely, I'm trying my best! I'm going, I'm sorry!
It's time for this week's edition of Ask Mick. This is your opportunity to send us a tweet and ask anything about the Cubs, baseball, the Smokies, or anything else that's on your mind. This week's question's from Mike. He says, do you see Daury Torres getting to Wrigley at some point? His numbers are ridiculous this season. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's going to make it this season, but he's putting himself right in the middle of consideration. He's throwing strikes. He's getting ahead of batters. He's mixing his pitches. The biggest thing in pitching at the major league level is you really have to be able to command the strike zone. And you have to be able to throw your pitches for strikes, not just fastball. And Torres has done a really good job of that. He's been able to get outs by keeping the ball down at times, but also he's able to elevate and work the upper half of the zone. He's been one of the biggest surprises on this team. And when you see the Cubs at the major league level, you realize that there's certain points where they could really use some help, and they've shuttled guys back and forth between Iowa and the major league. So Torres certainly has done a lot to help his cause, and I think he's got a shot to make it. Maybe at the end of this season, maybe sooner, maybe next year, but if he continues what he's doing right now, it's only a matter of time. If you want your question featured on our show, really easy to do. Just tweet at Broadcaster Mick, and we'll do it again next week.
He's one of, if not the biggest superstars in WWE right now, and when we come back, he joins the show. The phenomenal one, the face that runs the place, AJ Styles, is next on Bear Trax.
I'm Dwayne Underwood, pitcher for the Tennessee Smokies, and you're watching Bear Trax on Fox 43.
He's a world champion and now a Smokies fan. WWE superstar AJ Styles traded in his belt for a bat, and we gave him the VIP tour at Smokies Stadium. AJ Styles is used to fighting off other wrestlers in the cage, not fighting off fastballs.
Taking some cuts in probably over 10 years. More worried that I was going to hurt myself rather than hit the ball, but also worried if I was going to hit the ball in the first place. So very fun, and actually, as you can see, I hit a couple. Not very many, a couple.
AJ came to Smokies Stadium before an event in Knoxville. He met the guys and left repping the Smokies.
Definitely the Smokies hooked me up today, man. Got my bat, got my hat, got my swag. This is a great place to be. My son's over there with a big smile on his face because he got a couple things too. And then I get to go brag to my older son who's playing baseball literally across the way with his travel team that I was, taking batting practice with the Smokies.
The last few years have been a huge success for Styles, and while he's been dubbed as the phenomenal one around this team at this ballpark, he was just one of the guys.
My son wouldn't be happy if he see me batting right now. My son, it's nice to be known for what you do. A lot of times when I told someone what I did, they never really knew. All they knew was like WWE, and now it's like I don't have to tell them, they already know. That's a cool thing to know that all your hard work has paid off and you've actually made a name for yourself that people actually not only know but know your face because of it.
One of the big reasons the Smokies are in the mix for a first-half championship is due to the play of Charcer Burks. When we come back, Mick Gillispie sits down one-on-one with the Smokies Gold Glove winner.
I'm Smokies outfielder Charcer Burks. You're watching Bear Trax on Fox 43.
I'm Mick Gillispie, and it's great to be joined by Smokies outfielder and Cubs prospect Charcer Burks. First off, congratulations on the Gold Glove you won earlier this year. Well, you got it this year, but you won it for your work last season.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
How did you feel about getting a Gold Glove, an honor that doesn't just encompass the league you were in, but the entire minor leagues?
It's just a huge honor, really. I put a lot of emphasis on my defense, and I work really hard at it, whether it's BP, early work, whatever kind of extra work it is. I really put a lot of emphasis on it, like I said, and to be able to receive that award amongst all those other great players throughout the whole minor leagues was just a huge honor.
One of the things I love about your game is the intelligence you play with. I think that baseball is more than just home runs, RBIs, and batting average, but you do a lot of the little things right. Do you notice that you're doing those things right, and do you work on those, or do they come natural?
Now it's not really a thing that I notice I do, but it's definitely a thing that I try to focus on doing, if that makes sense, just because it's one of the things that I've worked on just because baseball is there's a huge mental side of baseball that plays a huge effect in the game. But it's mainly thinking about things before it happens, or just getting the small things done here and there. And then when you look back on it, you're like, oh, that was a big play, or that was smart, But I don't really think about it too much, like during the game or whatnot.
It's like the times when you're supposed to run, or where to throw the baseball on a play when there's guys in motion, and on-base percentage, and who's up, do you steal, do you stay put, when do you try to score, when don't you? Those type of things are why players that play the game like you seem to win.
Right. Well, from a player standpoint, you take away yourself, your at-bats, whatever it is, and you try to look at it more as a team, and just whatever it is that you have to do to win the game. You know what I mean? So once you take yourself out of the equation, I have to get a hit, I have to get on base, whatever it is, and hey man, my 2, 3, 4-hole guys can really hit, and I need to get in position to where they can score me. You know what I mean? So whenever I take myself out of the equation, I'm like, I'm playing for this guy next to me, things just start to fall in line.
You grew up in Houston, not too far from where the Astros play. You were an Astros fan growing up, and now you're a Cub. What was it like for you to get the opportunity to go back to Houston this spring training and play in front of your friends and family wearing a Chicago Cubs Major League uniform?
Yeah, it was, I think, honestly, I still think about it that day, going back to Houston and playing, just because I used to go to games, to Astros games all the time growing up, and I'm like, man, I used to drive by the stadium and be like, I'm going to play there one day. You know what I mean? Whether it's with the team, against the team, I'm going to play in that stadium one day against those guys. And be able to go back and actually do that was just amazing. And to have all my family and friends support me out there, it's just awesome. I couldn't beat it.
Who got you into playing baseball? Who was your inspiration? Who was your teacher?
That seems to be a question that gets debated in the house a lot, whether it was my mom or my dad. But I will say this, my mom probably pushed the hardest for baseball, and probably instilled that fight that I have in me. That I credit that to my mom. However, all the baseball stuff, whether it's hitting, swing, mental side of the game and whatnot, I can credit that to my dad, but the one that instilled the fight in me is my mom, definitely.
Cubs won the World Series last year. What were you doing and thinking when you were watching Game 7?
A lot of the guys that are on the team that are on the roster, at some point I played with, or at one of the camps, whatever it is. Well, a lot of those guys are just really good friends of mine. So to see all those guys in the big leagues, competing for a World Series championship title was just awesome. And while watching the game, I was like, man, those guys are where I am now a few years ago, you know what I mean? So hopefully in a couple of years or so, I'd be able to go up there and help them win a championship too. Because, that is the big picture, the goal, just winning the championship with Chicago.
You got an opportunity to play on the same team, not just in Houston, but also in Arizona. You had a game-winning home run with Chris Bryant and Kyle Schwarber and the rest of those guys on the field with you.
Right. Yes, and it's just the same thing applies. I think in that game, it was a tie ball game too, going into like the 7th. But the same thing applies where you're that at bats for your team. You know what I mean? You're playing for your team, so whenever you're called upon, you have to do whatever it is to help your team succeed. And that was just me getting a good pitch to drive, trying to get on base, and the ball took off. But it was a good swing, and it's just whatever it is that you have to do to help the team.
What did Joe Madden say to you when you got back to the dugout?
Smile, you just hit a show bomb.
Well, it's been fun talking with Charcer Burks. I'm Mick Gillispie. We'll throw it back to Charlie.
You won't want to miss our final homestand of the first half against the Chattanooga Lookouts, and it could be for all the marbles. Wednesday against Chattanooga is a Mrs. Grissom salad all-you-can-eat night, followed by a Thirsty Thursday presented by Coors Light on Thursday. Friday, we'll have some fireworks for you. Saturday, fireworks as well. It's also Jimmy Buffett night with themed jerseys, a post-game concert, and Jimmy Buffett music on repeat all night long. Hopefully one of the games in that homestand, the Smokies will be popping champagne and celebrating a Southern League North Division first half championship. That's all we have for you on the show today. Same place, same time next week on Fox 43. Be sure to set your DVR so you have Bear Trax on your starting lineup. For more Tennessee Smokies baseball-related content, visit SmokiesBaseball.com. There you can find reruns of this show and all past shows. Also, visit our YouTube page. Just type in Smokies Baseball. I'm Charlie Walter. Until next time, have a great night.